guys, today we have a very exciting topic, sometimes controversial, sometimes surrounded by a lot of drama and a lot of uncertainty. Whether you should use stock photos or you should use your own photos when creating listings on sales platforms. My name is Genie, this is Thrift&Fortune, let's go. When you're looking through the sales platforms, let's say Poshmark, finding listings that you want to buy for yourself, let's say you're searching for a sweater, which one of these two listings you would likely click on or buy? Now, I give you another example. Which one of these two pairs of the same shoes you're more likely to click on? I know, stock photos actually sell because someone, the brand, already created really good quality studio photo shoots to showcase the items at their best. They used professional lighting, professional models, and yeah, those photos are selling. If you're not in a classic retail where you can touch your item, see how it fits, maybe try it on, it's really hard to make a decision when you just look at some dark photos of an item lying on a floor with no measurements and no particular information on how it's going to be sitting on you, what's the potential of the items. This is all just a mystery. And stock photos are taking that guesswork out of the listing because you already see the item the way it was presented by the brand, meaning in the best possible way. By the way, guys, if you aren't already a subscriber, consider to subscribe to this channel. This will mean the world to me. Honestly, your support is everything, and also like this video and ring that notification bell so I can see that you're liking this video and I will keep making this content flowing. Now let's start with the basics. What are stock photos? Stock photos are basically commercial photos that we're taking of any item, whether it's a clothes, shoe, whatever. These are just commercial photos, commercial photo shoots. Now let's talk about the consequences of using stock photos. I myself, as you know, sell on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari, and let's talk about the consequences on all of those three platforms. Poshmark is probably the easiest one. If you use stock photos and you get a copyright infringement strike, they basically just delete your listing and that's it. You're not getting suspended, your account is not blocked. Yeah, they just let you know that your listing have been deleted due to copyright infringement. It doesn't affect you that much, so I would not be absolutely horrified, and I'm not gonna, advise you against using stock photos, but yeah, Poshmark does delete items when they receive copyright notice from brands. eBay is probably the most strict out of all the platforms. They do not advise using copyright photos, and they have really strict policies against using copyright photos unless these are stock photos that you created yourself as a manufacturer. Because as you know, there are a lot of stores on eBay that are actually stores and they do own the copyright to the stock photos they are using. If you've been striked for the first time, I think it's not a big deal. Your listing will be deleted. But if you have second strike, eBay suspends your account for, I think, a week at first. And it doesn't mean that your store will be completely shut down. It just means that your new listings will not appear in the search as well as old listings. You can still sell your listings even when you are suspended for a week if you have watchers and you send offers to those watchers, but your listings will not appear in the search. When it comes to Mercari is probably the most consistent one. If you get striked, your listing will be deleted. I have read some stories on Reddit that some accounts were just completely shut down and suspended, but again, I'm not talking my experience here, I'm just talking what people are saying, so I don't know. Probably Mercari is all over the place, and since Mercari is an international platform, I don't think they have a capacity or bandwidth to actually go through all the photos unless they receive a copyright strike from the photos owner. Knowing all this, let's talk about what resellers can do and how I personally create my listings. I do use stock photos, disclaimer. So I sell a lot of vintage items and not all of my vintage items have stock photos, so I just try to create the best quality photos I can. Sometimes I even try to style my items in a flat lay style. I even model items sometimes, but not every time. Some items, especially those that are vintage, Well, for those items, I just create the best quality photos that I can to the best of my ability. Now, items that I sell that are not vintage, I do use copyright photos. I mix them with actual photos. And last but not least, I wanted to mention brands that are super strict about their stock photos, and you will 100% receive a copyright strike if you are using their stock photos. This is not only my experience, but also experience from other resellers that I have gathered all over Reddit, all over YouTube. This is not a full list. I know that the list is endless, but these are the brands that are for sure will search for their photos, and if they find you using your photos on Poshmark, they will definitely send you a strike. One of the first brands that I want to mention is Reformation, because this brand sells well and a lot of resellers like Reformation, but yeah, they are super strict and you will definitely receive a strike for using their stock photos. Another brand is And Other Stories, and this is from my personal experience. I was striked once on Poshmark for using And Other Stories stock photos, so this brand is very, very strict. I read about it in a lot of Reddit threads. Yeah, they are super particular. They don't like when we're using their stock photos. ASOS is another platform that does not allow using their stock photos, and it's not only ASOS brand, it's also all the pictures from ASOS marketplace. They are very strict, and I have received a strike from ASOS. So yeah, this is something that you should be very careful about, especially if you're looking for stock photos. Recently, Lululemon started to pay attention to using their stock photos, so I did not have any problems with Lululemons in the past, and I never had any strikes from Lululemon. Lululemon is one of those bread and butter brands that sell really well and that sells fast. I don't remember my Lululemon's listing, lasted at more than 2 weeks on a platform, so they get sold pretty fast, and I think that's why I kind of, managed to escape those copyright strikes. But yeah, I heard from many resellers that Lululemon is now becoming super particular and they don't allow their stock photos to be used by resellers. A couple of brands that I have to mention, but I did not have any strikes when using their stock photos, are Patagonia and North Face. I know that recently some resellers shared that they did receive copyright strikes, but I never had anything. In my experience, I'm just sharing what I've gathered all over the internet. Then American Eagles is another brand that is super strict about their copyright photos. So yeah, you should definitely pay attention to these ones, because you will 100% receive the copyright strike from these brands. Now, there are brands that are not that, particular about using their stock photos, like J.Crew, Madewell, Zara. They are, super easy, and no one ever received copyright strikes from those brands. So I guess it's okay if you're using their stock photos. I personally use Zara stock photos a lot, and I'm a huge fan of Zara, so I do use. But yeah, I don't think that anyone ever got a strike from Zara. Zara and J.Crew and Madewell are big companies. I don't think they have a bandwidth to, search all the internet all the time and send those copyright strikes. So whether you are using stock photos or not, again, it's up to you. This is not a legal advice, but legally you are not allowed to. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below. What are your thoughts? Are you using copyrighted photos? Are you using stock photos or not? What are your thoughts? I want to open the comment section for the discussion, because I think sharing is caring and reselling community is pivoting, because we like to share our experience. So let's meet in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!